Basic Law Enforcement Academy curriculum consists of psychomotor skills training that stresses both the mind and the body. Those students who are in at least a modicum of physical condition have a better chance of surviving the academy experience. By testing these prospective candidates prior to their commencement of the Basic Law Enforcement Academy, local departments save their valuable tax dollars and time while increasing the likelihood that their prepared candidate will successfully complete the academy. This video program is designed to meet the many requests made by local departments for a review of fitness ability test protocol used at the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission Basic Law Enforcement Academy. During this presentation, you will see the proper protocol for the following tests: the maximum push-up test, the 60-second sit-up test, and the vertical jump reach test. The 1.5-mile run, which is a measure of aerobic capacity, and the 300-meter sprint, which is a measure of anaerobic capacity, are part of the overall test battery, but will not be shown during this program. This test measures the muscular strength and endurance of the upper body muscles in the shoulders, chest, and the back of the upper arms, which are used in high-intensity self-defense training and arrest simulation training. This is important for use of force involving pushing motions, breaking one's fall to the ground, the use of the baton, and other such training. This test involves the standard push-up. Key points to remember are: before actually beginning the test, have the subject identify their costal arch for proper location of the foam cube. The arms, hands, and shoulders should be in a vertical line and placed no more than 1 1/2 shoulder widths apart. The candidate's back is straight or slightly flexed at the hips, while the knees are locked with the ankles either together or up to 12 inches apart. A proper repetition begins in the full-up position. The individual then flexes their elbows beyond 90 degrees, lowering their body until their chest touches and slightly compresses the foam cube, and finally return to the full-up position with the elbows completely extended and straight. The test is terminated if any part of the body other than the toes or the hands touches the floor. The following are common errors that disqualify or discount a repetition. Sway back or insufficiently flexed spine. Here we see that the individual sway back encourages improper form by allowing the chest or abdomen to touch the foam cube before the elbows have flexed beyond 90 degrees. Insufficient range of motion. Not enough extension or flexion in the elbows. The xiphoid process or area must come down and begin to compress the foam block. The elbows too must be flexed beyond 90 degrees and finally extend or straighten to 0 degrees. Rubber back, or not keeping the spine flexed and rigid. Here the subject is pivoting at the hips instead of the toes. This test measures the muscular endurance or strength of the abdominal muscles, which, like other upper body muscles, are useful in self-defense and high-intensity arrest simulation training. This test is the typical bent-knee sit-up that has been used for several years. To date, this is the test where most failures have occurred. Further, this test protocol has the most potential for disqualifying mistakes or errors in form. Fingers are interlocked with the hands placed in the back of the neck at or near ear level. The subject lies on their back with their knees flexed to a right angle. A partner sits on the subject's feet with their hands or forearms placed behind the subject's calf muscles. Their job is to keep the performer's feet in contact with the floor and their knees bent at 90 degrees. A proper repetition begins in the down position. The individual then sits up to touch their elbows to their knees. The subject then returns to the down position just long enough to touch their head to the rater's hand on the floor, and immediately sits up again. Resting in down position is not allowed, only resting in the up position. Common errors. Lack of knee flexion. In order to ensure isolation of the abdominal muscles, the subject must keep their knees bent or flexed at 90 degrees. This is the job of the partner who is sitting on the feet of the subject who is performing the sit-ups. Hip contact. The subject's hips must remain in contact with the mat at all times in order to eliminate alternate muscle substitution. Range of motion. The elbows must touch the knees in the up position. and the subject's hands that are positioned behind their neck must touch the rater's hands on the down position, which is positioned on the mat. Finger position. The subject's fingers must remain interlocked and behind the head at all times during the performance of the sit-up test. This test measures muscular power in the legs, used in high-intensity arrest simulation training, and is important in moving heavy objects such as people, in vaulting objects such as walls and ditches. Have the participant stand with one side towards the wall, heels together, and reach upward as high as possible. Note the position of their armpit and rib cage near the wall. Record the maximum standing reach. Then, using a rocking one-step approach, have the participant jump as high as possible, reaching upward at the same time. Record the maximum jumping reach. The score is the number of inches between the standing reach and the jumping reach. Assure that the maximum standing reach is a true reach, as this is where cheating can take place. You may have to physically check for maximum upward extension of the arm at the armpit. A double jump or crow hop is not permitted upon takeoff. The correct sequence is stride forward with one foot, bring the trailing foot up to meet the lead foot while flexing the knees, then jump off of both feet. The goal of the fitness ability test is to ensure a level of physical fitness that will minimize undue fatigue and injury during the academic experience, and so that all students can successfully complete the necessary training required by law and provided by Criminal Justice Training Commission.